This first video, which was uploaded by a user with the alias Wolfhound227 and shared on the popular ghost subreddit, is likely to send shivers down your spine. The uploader writes, quote, "I went down into the basement of a church on my site and did some investigating there. I heard footsteps right above me moving in the direction of the altar. That was a fun night." End quote. Let's watch the footage together to find out what occurs, shall we?
You'll hear it again. Yep. Yep.
As you can hear, there are definitely some odd noises that sound like footsteps coming from above the uploader. These noises can be heard clearly, but the answers to the questions of why or how are not known at this time. Due to the fact that this footage is so cryptic, it is quite doubtful that we will ever figure out what is going on or why it happened. Let's just cross our fingers and hope that the next time this Reddit user investigates a location like this one, he practices the highest possible level of safety. The following eerie video was uploaded to TikTok by a user by the name of Alexios. In the video, Alexios claimed to show the reason why he left his apartment. The video begins in a very typical manner, with the uploader focusing his camera on an object in his home that is located quite a distance away. Everything seems to be in order, until the camera moves in as close as it can get, at which point we realize why Alexios is so afraid. Take a peek. This video is making no sense at all. What the heck is going on? It looks like a hand has a tight grip on the doorknob without moving at all. And while the camera zooms in, there appears to be two glowing eyes at the top. But what does any of this mean? There are a number of people in the comments area of this video who are similarly puzzled, and because of this, I am interested to hear if you have any hypotheses or thoughts. If you do, please be sure to mention it in the comments below. Hunting the Unknown is a very popular YouTube channel that focuses primarily on abandoned building exploration and paranormal investigation related content. It's safe to say that this video, which was published to that channel on February 12, 2023, is one of their most unnerving works to this day. Their other films in general have a sinister tone to them. The video in question shows the proprietor of the channel as he enters an abandoned and haunted house in the middle of the night, all by himself, which makes the situation 10 times worse. The investigation begins in a rather routine manner as we observe the uploader moving around inside of the residence, which has clearly seen better days. Our uploader had to make his way through a place that appears to be in complete disrepair, which more than likely had to be more than a little unpleasant to walk through. And I'm talking from experience. When this does occur though, at around the 11-minute mark, true panic begins to set in.
Whoa. Hello? Oh hell, what the oh hell, oh my god. What the
The uploader's electromagnetic field suddenly sparks, and shortly after that, a wheelchair is observed going about all by itself for some reason. Then, after waiting a few more minutes, he hears this when he is exploring a different part of the house.
Trashed completely. Hello?
There is a little break of roughly 2 minutes before yet another eerie thing happens. Have a listen.
Anyone there?
It's possible to hear the spirit box say ghost, and then 1 second later, it's possible to see a cloaked figure within a room. However, the uploader did not witness this at the time that the tape was being made. He seems to catch a glimpse of a figure out of the corner of his eye, but by the time he turns around, the person is no longer there. What exactly do you believe was happening inside of this really eerie house? Was there truly a ghost there? Was the whole thing really an elaborate hoax? There is no way for us to know for certain. A user by the name of Danny Ramirez uploaded the video that you will see below on TikTok. The video in question begins in a rather ordinary manner, as we witness Danny filming some forests that are located nearby. On the other hand, in just a few moments we are going to learn the reason why Danny was so enthralled with the woods on that particular evening. Raise the volume and give it a listen before proceeding. With the woods on that particular evening. Raise the volume and give it a listen before proceeding.
What the absolute heck is it?
Our uploader is understandably more than a little bit freaked out by the sounds that can be heard emanating from the neighboring woods, which are exceedingly loud and frightening and seem like they are being made by a Bigfoot. There is of course no way to know for certain whether or not these noises were indeed produced by a Bigfoot or something much less ominous. Some people suggest it could perhaps be wolves. In either case, it provokes thought, and that much is certain. In this video uploaded by the Paranormies, the group goes out to investigate this incredibly creepy house, which turned out to be one of their creepiest investigations to date. But first, a little backstory on the house. In November 1986, Winnipeg was hit by a severe snowstorm, and a man and a woman were trapped inside their home. The young woman became ill with an undiagnosed condition and worsened during the storm. Despite the man's efforts to give her medication, she eventually died in bed a few days later. During the time she was bedridden, the man kept hearing her voice as well as footsteps coming from different areas of the house. That obviously freaked the man out because the woman was bedridden and didn't move out of bed. And now back to the investigation. During the first several minutes of this investigation, nothing really interesting takes place. But around the 27-minute point, everything abruptly changes when this takes place.
Can you hear that? Paranormal! We are hearing...
Sounds like footsteps.
Sounds like footsteps. And right at that moment, it says paranormal. That's walking footsteps. Right. That light's on.
That door's shut.
You didn't shut this door?
I didn't shut that door. That's what that noise was too. Was that on? Why
No,
does it look like somebody's sitting in your bed? Somebody was sitting in the bed.
Somebody was. This bed was completely made. No wrinkles in the bed or anything.
Somebody's sitting in this bed too. These beds were flat.
The sound of ghostly footsteps can be heard coming from someplace in the area, and it appears that something is being tossed. After only 2 minutes, they see that the door to the room is now locked and that there are marks in the beds. After a certain amount of time has passed, the subsequent event frightens them.
Mama.
Like a fever? No, that's way too high. No one could possibly have a fever that high. Hello? Oh.
Said you're dead.
What are you doing?
Said this is a fine line. Said go with it.
Oh, it feels like something's tugging on my shirt. He's up there. Who's up there? Let's go. I have my camera on it and the door fucking open.
This door can be seen closing on its own at random, and one can also hear scratching coming from the direction of the door. After a little more than a minute, the door is unlocked and opened once more. A little over 10 minutes have passed, and the crew is still doing their investigation while moving as quickly and effectively as they can throughout the location. As this takes place, however, they will soon face more frightening situations.
Oh God. I don't like that.
You see anything?
No, it's... Oh my God! Did you hear that?
I just heard that. There was another noise.
It came from underneath us where we're standing right now. Right from where underneath us.
The basement is producing knocking sounds, and the Ouija board can be observed to be moving about in there. Then, while they're climbing the stairs, the Ouija board starts to move on its own. While this is taking place, the sounds of footsteps and knocking can be heard coming from the kitchen. Only 2 minutes will pass until the following event takes place.
Wait, what is that? That came from the basement. I'm going downstairs.
When he goes down to the basement, there's a sound of something being tossed down the steps into the basement before there is another sound. After that, the ovulus says, "I will flash the lights." At around the 1 hour and 17 minute mark, it turns the light on and off multiple times.
Okay, no way.
Do you have faith that this house is inhabited by ghosts? If this is the case, then the paranormal should be careful if they ever wish to make a return to this terrifying location.